and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 Los Angeles urban legends. Now, you don't know this, but I've broken my toe and I'm still doing this video for you, so please send me some love in the comments section. Los Angeles, LA, the city of stars. This is one hot city with loads of creepy stories attached to it. Let me know if you've ever been to LA down in the comments section, and also don't forget to leave me toe love. Also, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my link is in the description box. And while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, share this video with a friend who loves LA. Coming in at number 10, we have the lizard people of Los Angeles. An article on the front page of the Los Angeles Times on January the 23rd, 1934, claimed that there were secret tunnels under the city that housed a number of lizard people. The article hilariously reads, "Busy Los Angeles, although little realizing it in the hustle and bustle of modern existence, stands above a lost city of catacombs filled with incalculable treasures and imperishable records of a race of humans further advanced intellectually than the highest type of present-day peoples." In the belief of G. Warren Shefalt, geophysicist mining engineer now engaged in an attempt to wrest the lost city deep under the earth, he says that there are secrets of lizard people down there, of legendary fame and medicine lodges of the American Indians. So just to read between the lines there for a bit, they were basically suggesting, like Scientologists, that there is a superior race of lizards that once existed, and they could still be circulating beneath the city of LA. Cool. Some people genuinely started digging to try and find the lizard people, but they never found any evidence of them, which is unsurprising to me. Nonetheless, the legend of the lizards lives on. Coming in to number 9, we have the mysteries of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery at Paramount Studios. The Hollywood Memorial Park is the final resting place of a number of Hollywood's former greats. Cecil B. DeMille and Dee Dee Ramone, as well as a whole bunch of early-era Hollywood stars, lay there. Part of the land is now Paramount Studios. Now, those that work at the studios have frequently reported seeing apparitions wearing period clothing. Studio staff have said that these people walk towards the wall of the cemetery and disappear into the brick. The cemetery is frequently linked to the ghost of a weeping woman, thought to be that of Virginia Rapp, a silent movie starlet who met her end after attending a Hollywood party with famous actor Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. He was accused in being part of her demise, but later exonerated. It is said that her spirit weeps for the unresolved death. Coming in at number 8, we have the Houdini Mansion. Legend has it that famous magician Harry Houdini lived in a mansion in Laurel Canyon in the Hollywood Hills. Houdini himself was a mysterious character who died on Halloween in 1926. Houdini's home was a test center for some of his tricks, and he reportedly had a number of secret caves and tunnels in the property. Since his death, people have flocked to his former home to try and feel his presence. There has long since been reports of hauntings in the estate and the area. Do they have anything to do with the magician? One of the best things about LA is that you're so close to loads of beautiful beaches. You fly out over the beach when you leave LAX, and it is absolutely beautiful. Los Angeles may be a city with an accessible coastline, but these white sand beaches have their own creepy stories to tell. Meet the ghost of Santa Monica Pier at number 7. Now, back in the 60s and 70s, people would have wild parties in the casino on the pier, and revelers would report hearing weird sounds on the roof and in the hallways. Some also say that a headless ghost wanders underneath the pier and has frequently been spotted by people going to use the bathrooms. Apparently, this is no friendly ghost either. The apparition has been known to try and choke people that speak to it. Coming into number 6, we have Marilyn Monroe's haunted mirror. Despite dying at her own home in the Brentwood neighborhood of LA, Marilyn Monroe is said to haunt Hollywood's Roosevelt Hotel. Weird. Monroe lived in the hotel for 2 years, and some of her early magazine covers were taken poolside at the Roosevelt. It is reported that she is still in her old room, Suite 1200. However, it's not mainly the room that she haunts. Specifically, she's said to haunt the mirror. The suite's mirror was taken to the manager's office for cleaning, and one employee dusting the mirror claimed to have seen a sad-looking blonde woman glancing at her. Turning around to talk to the woman in the room, the employee found no one there. When she looked back into the mirror, she still saw the blonde looking at her. Actor Montgomery Clift is also said to haunt the hotel in his old room, room 928. He's said to be heard practicing his trumpet late into the night. it. Coming in at number 5, we have Walt Disney haunting Disneyland, California. So just a hop, skip and a jump away from LA, we have Walt Disney World in Anaheim. Now Walt Disney opened the original Disneyland in 1955 and he absolutely loved the place. In fact, he loved the place so much, he had his own apartment there. He doted on the place. He spent the majority of his time there until his death in 1966. Now, his apartment was above the fire station on Main Street. When he was in residence, it is said that he always kept a lamp burning in the window so everyone knew that he was there. When he died, the lamp was ceremoniously switched off. Eerily though, it seemed that the lamp would turn itself back on. One day, a staff member was cleaning the apartment when she heard a voice that said, "I'm still here." From that day on, Disney's lamp keeps on burning in the window as a mark of respect and acknowledgement for his ghost. Coming into number 4, we have the UFOs over Topanga Canyon. California is the worldwide hotspot for reported UFO sightings. On June the 14th, 1992, reportedly 17 people witnessed strange unidentified flying objects flying over the Topanga Canyon. According to local law surrounding that evening, huge objects were gliding noiselessly between slopes and ravines of the canyon, and a number of residents started disappearing. Some transcripts of calls to local police departments have been released, and they're pretty incredible. One eyewitness said, "Officer, we were driving through the canyon where the canyon gets deep and we noticed a bright light in the sky. Suddenly, it was over us. We lost control of the car and it lifted us up into the sky. It lifted us up off the ground. I'm telling you, I've never been more frightened in my life. We don't drink, we don't take drugs, and we have no history of psychological problems." Another call came from a concerned man asking if the cops flew strange-shaped helicopters with really bright lights over the canyon at night. The mystery of June the 14th still has no explanation other than aliens. Coming into number 3, we have the haunted Hollywood sign. Peg Entwistle was 24 years old when she leapt to her death from the Hollywood sign. Her death came right amid the golden era of Hollywood movies and attracted a lot of local attention. Peg spent her early life in Wales before moving to the United States with her father. Now, he was sadly killed in 1922 in a hit-and-run accident. Peg dreamed of becoming a star and had a short and tepid career on Broadway before she moved to LA. She was cast in one movie, 13 Women, before she committed suicide. It seems, disheartened by her acting career and tired of suffering, Peg climbed to the very top of the H of the Hollywood sign on September the 16th, 1932. She then jumped 45 feet to her death. A hiker found her purse with a suicide note in it, which read, "I'm afraid, I'm a coward, I'm sorry for everything. If I'd done this a long time ago, it would have saved a lot of pain. P.E." Her body was found by police and her death was sensationalized in the media. The truth became legend, as some say that 2 days after her death, a letter offering her a part in the Beverly Hills Playhouse was sent to her home. Now, the part was said to be that of a woman who committed suicide not long before the final curtain. Weird irony. Some hikers say they feel a presence around the sign. Some even say they see a blonde woman walking on air. From the Hollywood sign to the land it overlooks. Coming into number 2, we have the curse of Griffith Park. Griffith Park is reportedly blighted by a 150-year-old curse. The park used to be owned by the Feliz family until a senior member was dying and he was tricked into changing his will to sign it over to the Coronel family. Now, this unfortunately went to them rather than the rightful inheritor, who seemingly cursed the estate. Bad fortune then blighted every family that lived there. Don Cornell's family were met with misfortune and death, which was a trend that befit all future dwellers. Eventually, the park came into the hands of Colonel Griffith Jenkins Griffith. Yes, his name was Griffith. First name Griffith, last name Griffith. Cool. Anyway, after a while, he became freaked out by the land and reported the ghostly figure of Don Antonio Feliz appearing during storms. Now, he seemed angry. Griffith would only ever visit his land during the day, and on one occasion, he was shot by a crazed ostrich farmer. He survived, but he had enough of the land, which I totally get. He gifted the park to the city of Los Angeles in December 1896. Now, I was all with you, Griffith, but don't give away your cursed land to the city. That just seems mean. Ghosts, including that of Feliz, have been spotted in the park since the late 1800s, and in 1933, a fire tore through the land, injuring 150 people and killing 29. More recently, in 2016, a pair of hikers stumbled across a partially uncovered skull of an unidentified woman in her 20s. If all that wasn't enough, the park is said to be home to some kind of beast that stalks visitors. 3 eyewitnesses have reported a humanoid figure with black eyes, green skin, and a bent back. Weird. Finally, at number 1, we have the ongoing mystery of Elisa Lam. The death of Elisa Lam has been the topic of much discussion in LA and beyond. In early February 2013, 21-year-old Canadian tourist Elisa Lam went missing after a stay at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. A video was posted of her from an elevator security camera by police, as this was the last time she was seen alive. Now, in the video, she's seen acting exceptionally strangely, very strangely indeed. She presses a number of buttons in the elevator and the doors fail to close. She is seen peering out of the elevator and then trying to hide in the corner. She then exits and seems to be pleading with someone outside the door, but we can't see them. The footage ends with her walking out of shot and the elevator door opening and closing a number of times. On the 19th of February, her body was found by hotel maintenance workers who had come to investigate issues with the hotel water pressure. It seems that she was dead in the water tank. She was naked and her clothes and possessions were found floating next to her. Her death caused a huge smear on the hotel, which had seen other notable murders and deaths over the years. Now, the mystery of her death has never been solved, with many suggesting it has something to do with the paranormal. The hotel has been rebranded as The Stay on Main because nobody wanted to stay there anymore. So guys, that was the top 10 Los Angeles urban legends. Once again, have you visited the City of Angels? Let me know if you want to in the comments section down below. Before we go, I'm just going to read some comments from the top 10 cursed books you should never read. You guys seem to love it. Now, VDR wrote, "Why would anyone read a fat, all words, no pictures book?" Let me tell you, because literacy is just a great way to inspire and ignite your imagination, and an even better way to teach you how to express yourself, and really, that's what we've got. The Hamster Army wrote, "My 2 number 1 books, Those Who Wish Me Dead by Michael Koryota and Beyond the Western Sea, Book 1. I absolutely love this comment from Brad Minning, who is one of our most amazing channel sponsors. They wrote, "I enjoy reading fact-filled books on space and exoplanets. I also enjoyed reading books on musicians' lives and works." I love that. Space and music are 2 of my favorite things. And also, thank you so much for sponsoring our channel. I noticed your comment right away because you had the little sign next to your name. If any of you guys want to also sponsor our channel, there is a button at the top of the page. For now, I'm going to take me and my broken foot out of here. It's actually only a broken toe, but it's really painful. So once again, please do leave me some toe inspiration comments in the comment section down below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, my link is in the description box. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!